I'm the secretary. I'll start it.
You got an agenda?
Okay, so the last time we actually met was February 27th.
Oh, my sister's birthday.
Okay, and we had a prayer by Skip,
Far away from first.
secretary's report, director's report, business, committee form to check on CPR training. Old business was community services for local high school seniors. And that was about what we did. I have more details. I have it written down, and
All right.
that's it.
All right, you want me to run the meeting then? So we're gonna start with prayer. Does anybody want to do a prayer? Does anybody want to say a prayer?
I'll
No.
say a prayer.
Okay.
Dear God, please think of all of us and all of our families and take care of us. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mel. Can we, Mel, you just read the minutes for the last meeting, right?
Yeah, I kind
Kind of did.
yeah.
Yeah, it was in February, so it was quite a while ago. We can't seem to remember back then. A lot has gone on. So Walt, how about, can you do the treasurer's report, please?
Would you say that again?
Can you do the treasurer's report, please?
I can,
Okay.
right now.
But I only can see your forehead. What the heck's that?
Okay, the treasurer's report, the expense account as of July 1st is $5,000 given by the town. Ending balance is $5,000. The formula grant is a question mark. We don't know what the state will be sending us. So as of July 1st, we just have a question mark. The gift account that we have a starting balance of $7,310.61. And the ending balance is the same, $7,310.61.
Could you just repeat
That
that
is the
for me,
treasurer's
because I
report.
was not great about writing it down here.
What was that, Mel?
Can you just like give me those figures again? Because I wasn't like.
Okay, the expense account is $5,000.
Mhm.
The formula grant is, we don't know what it's gonna be, so I just have a question mark there. And then the gift account is $7,310.61.
Thank you so much. I got it.
You're welcome so much.
Do we have any questions or concerns on the treasurer's report?
No.
No
Do we have a motion to accept the report?
motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the director's report. It's been kind of a busy week, and Ryan did approach me this week about renting a tent to slowly start reopening the senior center. Have fans and lights and chairs. We'd have to rent chairs. And we'd have to have a plan on how we would keep everyone safe with that. And we had to go to the Board of Health. I attended the Board of Health meeting. I think it was Monday or Tuesday night. And we have to put together a plan on how we would open safely. So in the meantime, Ryan also asked me if I would call other COAs and find out exactly what they're doing and how they're doing things. And I did. And you know, I was very surprised when I did call them. I called West Boylston and talked to my friend Lisa, who's the director down there. And she is now doing a soft opening. So yes, they have a huge senior center. They have many rooms, but they are allowing 9 to 10 people in. They're doing their exercise class. They're doing some art classes, and they're doing things outside, which I found out that a lot of people are doing outside. They're having coffee with friends And Haven't here. they yeah, no, they're not having bingo yet, I don't think. They're having exercise class, they're having painting classes, they're putting plexiglass up in front of the desks. Also, and they have plexiglass on the tables so that they can start serving their meals inside with, so many feet apart. So I understand that there's a lot of people, Westminster is starting to do the cookie outside. So they're doing a lot of things outside right now. They're starting to doing things outside. So I'm saying, hey, we can start to open little by little, because what's happening, and they found too, that a lot of them are suffering mentally and physically from not being able to be sociable with people. They want to come out and they want to be sociable and they want to see their friends. So sometimes we're doing more harm by keeping them stuck in their homes or not having anything to look forward to. So if we do this, we have a lot of work we have to do. And we have to write everything down as to what people say. So I'm going to need your help, and we're going to need more people. Temperatures when people come in and out. Make sure the place is clean. And so we need to get together and figure out a plan. Your thoughts are, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's time we ought to start slowly opening up a little bit to some of our seniors to have at least a cup of coffee outside? We have pop-up tents. We could put them out right outside here, outside the store. The thing is, we would have to have paper plates. We'd have to wrap, if we were going to have pastry, we would have to put it on paper plates and wrap it. We'd have to have someone in the kitchen. We'd have to have someone serve it. If we bring bingo back, we're going to have to get some throwaway bingo cards, which is no problem. They're paper and they use a dauber. They could come in. I mean, if we limited it to 9, if they had registered, the trim class would start up because a lot of people are starting to gain weight, myself. So we could start
a walking group. I think we could start walking group again.
We could start a walking group. In fact,
we could start walking group. We just meet in the parking lot. You don't even have to come in. No?
Right. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. I'll take that.
You'll take the walking group?
Yes.
Oh, Skip's here now. Great. Come on over with me, Skip.
Stand by her.
Skip's here, guys.
Hey, Skip.
He's going to share the same computer with me. Do you have your own, huh?
I got my phone. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Why don't you just sit right here with me and we can
Thanks,
both
Ryan,
go
for
on.
your patience with us.
Here's Skip, guys. There he is, our chairperson. Yeah.
Is he wearing
Hi,
that?
Skip.
So what we've done so far is we're just on the director's report.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And I was just telling them thinking about if we could open. And I think, Ryan, if we have a plan, if we put together a plan and give it to the Board of Health, then that's what we have to do in order to reopen, right? Ryan?
Yeah, so it's not just the senior center. So the library, the town offices, the public safety buildings, anybody in government has had to put together a reopening plan, just like the state did. So the idea is, can we as a town manage folks who want to come in and do these activities, and also those who are scared to come in because they want to make sure it's a safe environment. So if we can put together a plan that accomplishes both and present that to the Board of Health, I don't see why there wouldn't be support for that. But there has to be an understanding that there's going to be a lot of restrictions, that there's not a lot of appetite for parenting folks and telling people that they need to do this or do that. It's if you come, there'll be these rules, and we'd be happy to have you. Those types of plans seem to be working for those communities that invest in them. So like Claudia said, you have to look at paper plates, just different ways to stop transmission and make sure we don't hurt our most vulnerable population here in Hubbardson. In terms of the cost, which I'm sure everybody's thinking, the federal government through the state has provided money to allow local governments to operate in a COVID environment. So we can support things like tentage and chairs and the different plates and things that are needed to support the plan. As long as the plan's good, we can find a way to invest in it and make sure we're providing those services.
I
Thank
think,
you.
hello, I think we should form a subcommittee for this, and you could probably meet at the senior center, providing you use the. Claudia, did you get the Temple scanner for the, I know you were talking about it.
Oh, for the temperature?
Yes,
I have that. Yes, and I got two. The friends got that for us. I have two of them. I gave one to the Mott van driver, and I saw him using that the other day as the people get on the bus. I thought that was important, and I have one right here on my desk. Yes.
good. I think that's one place we should start that requires anybody coming into the senior center, regardless of what the program is, that they have a Temple scan. We've been very lucky in Hubbardston. So if we continue this, we won't have any real problems. Seniors are vulnerable. There's no question about that.
So do we have anyone that would want to be on a committee? I'd be happy to be on that committee because I would like to get that plan into the Board of Health by next week. You know, we could work on it. I don't think it will take us long once we sit down and go over everything we think we have to do. So if anybody would like to be on that, I don't mind. I think Nancy offered to be on it. Is there anyone else that would like to meet and put a plan together for the Board of Health?
I'd be happy to be on it. Yeah.
Okay, John, yeah. So John, Nancy, and I. Okay,
I told you, Claudia, I would help as much as you need me to as well.
all right, thank you, Ryan. I know that you're really busy right now, so I hate to impose on you too much. So the next thing was the townwide yard sale. Now, we are, little guy. So we can do the yard sale. We have to put together a map and we have to have signs up there. I have paper here, big white paper that came with the tables and stuff. So I'm thinking if we could get someone together to help make a sign, you know, one way, wear your mask, whatever you think we need to do. And then we have to draw a map as to how we're gonna set it up, and we have to give this to the Board of Health. So I need a committee for that. Is anyone interested in helping out with that? I mean, I don't mind.
When is,
The
when
yard sale
is
is
the,
Labor Day weekend,
oh, all right.
Labor Day weekend. So I need someone to get ready for it. We need to get that into the Board of Health too. And the sooner we do that, the better we are. So do we have anyone that's interested in helping making the signs, helping getting things going?
I'll give you a hand on that, Claudia.
All right, Flo? Okay, anyone else? Who's that? Jane, okay, Jane. All right, good. Okay, so we can start on that next week, too?
Just give us a day.
Huh?
Just give us a day.
Okay, so how is Tuesdays good or Wednesday?
Tuesdays be better for me.
How about you, Jane? Tuesday? Okay, so Tuesday, what time? 9?
9's good.
And start working on posters and getting things ready? All right, 9 a.m. And we got to put together a plan. Okay. And John and Nancy, what day is good for us to work on that plan to reopen the senior center? On how we're going to open the what day is good for you guys? John, did you leave us?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Don't hear
Nancy,
him.
what day is good for you? Okay, Wednesday, all right.
John's back.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh, I can't do Monday. I could do, yeah, I could do Wednesday, or I could, Wednesday at 10 maybe, or 12? John, can you do Wednesday at 12 to meet, to get together, to put a plan together for the Board of Health?
You name the day. I got my calendar. That's what I went to do.
Wednesday at 12 o'clock.
Date, Claudia?
Yeah?
What's the date?
The 22nd.
Next Wednesday. All right.
You can-
What time?
12 o'clock,
What is it?
12? Is that
Well,
good? 12? Or do you want to have lunch first?
all right. Just send me an email. I'm open for that day anyway. So that's good.
Okay, perfect. Also, we were hoping that we're gonna bring the singers back. We want to bring the singers back with shields. So Darlene and I are gonna sit down today and we're gonna go over the grant that she got and the things that we can get from that grant to help with the reopening.
That's where we talked about the tents.
Yeah. And Ryan, could you tell them a little bit about the CARE Act? That we are hoping to get a deck out in the back at some point. Could you tell them a little bit about that?
So the funding source I was talking about before is the CARES Act. That's federal government money that is flowing to us through the state. So we have an allocation for paying for a bunch of different things. Enhanced police and fire coverage during this local emergency. We are paying for like the election, the extra things that we needed for the election, all the different items that aren't normally budgeted and are directly related to COVID, we can use CARES Act money for. One big thing we're planning on using it for is the increasing cost of schools. So we can use money to help offset the increased costs that are coming to the schools because of the way they're gonna have to do all this stuff that we're talking about, reopen, et cetera. So we need to make sure that we have money for that. But we do want to make sure that we are continuing to provide the services that we normally provide. So in terms of the senior center, an idea that we had was to create permanent outdoor space in case this goes longer than it's supposed to, or it comes around again. So we think that building a deck onto the Slade building to provide outdoor space would allow us to have more flexibility for senior center services, considering that our current senior center configuration is one room and probably the worst type of environment for COVID. So I did ask the state if that's a acceptable expense, and I do have it in writing that it is. So if it's something we want to explore, I think it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. How about a swimming pool? I'm kidding. No, the deck is fantastic. I mean, you could have tables and umbrellas out there if it's, because that's just one hill, you know, that level it right out. But you have to build a ramp probably, yeah? And some stairs.
We would have
Anything-
to get some bids on it and some designs from contractors to see how best it would work. Hopefully we would be able to put a full roof on it, because then you can use it even more. You know, if it's a warm
Yeah.
rain or whatever, we could use it more. So,
It depends on the amount of money you would receive.
yeah, well, Ryan and I are gonna work on that together.
All right.
See what we can do for that. So I'm excited about that, Ryan. That's great.
Do I have any contractors in mind?
We're just starting now. We have a couple that we have in mind. I'll go over when Ryan has some time. We'll go over that and see what we can do. We're gonna go to the building inspector first. Right, Ryan?
Yeah, so we'll involve the building inspector and follow the procurement laws, but it's pretty straightforward to build. And there's a lot of contractors in the area that have experience building decks. So this one's not a complicated build. We'll just make sure we follow all the rules.
Yeah,
If you bought the materials, maybe the Lions Club would supply some labor to do that. There are contractors in the Lions Club too.
Sure.
They're looking to help out. They're looking to assist seniors in town right now.
the Lions Club, I mentioned, the Lions Club has been fabulous. They donated some money to the people in town who needed it. They have built 2 ramps for us. They built a ramp for Bonnie. They're building one for Bonnie now, and they built one for another lady who fell and broke her pelvic. So
Wow.
they have been wonderful reaching out to work with us. I think it's great. And Darlene from the Friends, she's been wonderful. The president there, she's gotten us quite a bit of grant money. So we've been, even though we've been closed, the volunteers here, we have been working hard to make sure that everybody gets food and eggs and whatever they need. We're here to answer calls. We reach out to them. So the thing is, we can't be together, but we can, anytime you can jump on board as far as if you want to pass out food or call and you want to make phone calls to outreach for people, that's great too. So that's what we're planning with. That's where we're going with this. So
I have a
Any-
question. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Bill.
No. How soon can we get one of those awnings up? Even if he has a couple tables out there, they could just come in and have a coffee and shoot the breeze just to have a place to sit. You know what I mean?
We have,
We did talk about that. I thought we were gonna go up with a tent idea.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Well, you have to put it by the side door, right?
Right.
And that blocks the road entirely.
Well, it actually doesn't. If we put it over to the side, it just block the few parking areas.
Oh, all right.
You know, because we put a tent there before. It wouldn't be a large tent, I don't believe. But we've had a tent there before and traffic could go by. No.
Yeah.
So Claudia, if I
I'll
could,
be,
the successful reopening plans that I've seen for Council on Aging and everybody really focus on the details of how it's going to be executed. So for example, the plans I've seen, and this is what the Board of Health is going to want in order to, as you said, start these services that I think can be started. They're going to want to see, how do people come in and how do people leave? What safety precautions are in place to make sure there's no transmission and spread? And then you got to think about disability compliance and also bathrooms and other things that are necessary. Bottlenecks. They just want to see that you've thought of all the things. So if you picture our town meeting, the way we brought people in, kept people apart in chairs, had people leave, we had to submit a plan for that. It's the same thing with town offices. The reason why we're doing appointments is not because we think there's going to be 50 people in the building. It's because people need to use bathroom space and we have poor facilities in order to facilitate space. So for something like the singing seniors, singing is probably one of the highest transmission rates you can do in a closed space. So there's just no way it's going to be possible inside a building, but it could be done outside if you really emphasize chairs being 6 feet apart, if there was face shields and careful attention paid to all the things that could happen. I know in speaking to the Board of Health, that's what they're looking for in a plan. So they don't want a plan that just says you wanted to start a service. They want to see how that service can happen in a COVID environment.
Brian, can you download, can you find a site where we can download the state's plan for reopening?
Yep, so I have all the emails that I sent for this meeting. I can also send you some stuff that Mallory dug up from the Board of Health on other reopening plans, so you can see the level of detail that some of them have.
That
It's-
would be helpful.
That's why I told you I'm willing to help, because it's a lot of bureaucratic work for sure. But I'll send that to everybody after the meeting.
It's gonna send them.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
So,
If you want, I can answer the phone.
Okay, so, all right, is there anybody want to say anything more about what we were just talking about? We all good?
We just got to get our information together before we even have anything to talk about, just so we know where we're standing.
Yeah, I'd like to get all that information next week. By Friday, I'd like to have everything put together so we can submit it. So,
under new business, we just really kind of discussed what was going on with our money for the reopening of the senior center. So I think we pretty much discussed that. Does everybody have a copy of the agenda? Not everybody has.
No,
No, I didn't get one.
All right.
I didn't either.
so Darlene, excuse me.
Okay.
Darlene got us another $3,200, and with that, we're gonna have a meeting today at 12, her and I, and she wants to pick up some hand sanitizers and some automatic room
Sanitizers.
UV ultralight, ultrasound,
Air purification system.
UV air purification system to put here in the senior center to keep the air clean. And then we're gonna go over a few more things. If you have any ideas, she's willing to pick up the masks for the senior singers. We have to get more masks here so that we can have throwaway masks. People can, if we have to give them one, they can throw it away on their way out. So we're gonna discuss all that. So if you have any suggestions on that, I'm more than welcome to hear them.
It's a little more than the reopening of the senior center we just got there.
I know, I know.
So,
Yeah, it's a major project. It's
Yeah.
especially when it's one room.
Right. Well, that's why maybe we can expand outside with the tent, or at least try to get some of us together at least a couple of times a week or something for coffee
For
or,
coffee or pastries.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I mean, I'll be willing to help whatever I can, but
Where
Yeah,
would we,
well,
where would,
we'll have to get together and discuss all this so that we can do it properly, and we will need volunteers for it. So, so that we can do it properly. We'll have somebody inside making coffee probably, and somebody delivering it, and we'll make
Yeah.
sure that we do all the proper things that we have to do to keep everybody safe. So we have the new business done. Anybody have anything that they'd like to add to that? Under old business, under old business, we kind of really discussed the old business, the yard sale, and the everything. We kind of already discussed all that. Is there anything anybody has to add to that? A dumpster ready for the yard sale.
We do have to get a dumpster, but do I have to get well, I think the Board of Health said that we could have that anyway, so. Does anybody have any, I know someone with a dumpster. Does anybody else want to make a few phone calls and make sure we get the best deal for the dumpster? Does anybody want to jump aboard with that, make some phone calls? Bill?
sure.
Okay, Bill.
Dumpster?
Yeah, you're gonna call 2 or 3 places to see what their prices are for a dumpster?
How big do we need? How many yards is it? 3, 5?
How many do you think we need? I don't know on that. We usually fill how big is the one we have out here, Ryan, do you know?
I don't know the size, but I can get it for you. I'm guessing it's about 8 by 8. So.
I'll
8 by
take
8.
a look. I'll get out. I got to go down today and pick up eggs. So
Okay. All right, good.
Does anybody have anything to add to this meeting? It's on their mind or something that would help us out
I just
here?
have a question for Claudia on the tables that were damaged. Did you get the replacements yet?
I got yes, I put the 2 tables are together. I'm just waiting
yeah.
for the stands for the other 3 ones, and I just emailed them, and they should be coming pretty soon. So the stands of the other ones, got all the screws and all that came in already, so,
All right. Give me a yell. I can put it together again if you want.
okay, good. Listen now, make sure that you mark down that Labor Day weekend is the townwide yard sale. I know I called all of you to make sure that you would be available that weekend. So could you just please make sure you put on the calendar, because we're gonna need as much help as we can on that day, on that weekend. So we would be open Friday, Saturday, and Monday. I mean, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but we would need to set up Thursday, Friday. So please mark that on your calendar, guys.
Okay.
Okay,
I think for
On the
planning,
agenda- Excuse
I
me.
think for
Go ahead.
planning anything else that we have to find out what we can do from the health department, and then we can more or less decide other events that we can have that will be appropriate at this time.
I would like to have coffee with a friend in August. The beginning of August, I would like to be able to put out some information and invite people to have coffee with friends. So I'm hoping that we can either get a tent set up and get our plans and everything into the Board of Health, so that we would be able to have coffee with a friend in August at some point, maybe the end. Because we're at the end of July already.
That's feasible. Yeah. I think it's feasible if we do the outside thing, as long as we get an okay.
Okay.
Another thing on your agenda, I'd like to change the date from July 14th to July 17th.
Oh, yes.
All right, if you have any agenda, and if you do pick one up, make sure the date is changed and the time is changed from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the agendas. And if you pick one up, please make sure they're changed. Any other business that we can talk about, or are we
One
pretty
more
much all
thing,
set?
Skip. This is Mel.
Now, go
We
ahead.
open with a prayer. Can we close with one too?
Yes, we can. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? I know she
Motion to
does.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I motion
Seconded,
to adjourn.
seconded.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,